Hey guys, as I mentioned in the previous video, I addressed both the Sony SEL18135 and I just want to compare it with my previous lens, which is the Sony SEL18105. So I shot some pictures. You can find the new lens, so the 18-135 on the left and the 18-105 on the right. So before we start, I have to mention that I'm not a professional user. I'm just trying to understand which lens is better using the same focal length. So let's start from 18 millimeters. So these are the raw files, and as you can see, let's zoom in the center. Well, the left lens is a bit more, captures more light, and together with these settings, it appears to be a bit more resolute, so you can see better the branches of the tree here. Also, if you look at the sky, well, it's a different picture, but you can see how much contrast there is in this picture. There is this very bad effect in the corner, which is generated by the cover of the lenses. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. To be honest, I don't know why Sony has done something this ugly. So this is a real issue if you want to shoot a lot on 18 or so millimeters. If we zoom on the left, you can see how much distortion there is on the 18-105 lens. The building is actually not straight. This looks very bad, to be honest. While on the other lens, it's a bit more normal, but still there is something that could be better. If we go and see the other millimeters. Okay, so now this is a 35 millimeter, and I just wanted to highlight something is that you can see it's not precise, and that's because at the moment there is no way to see at which millimeter you are shooting on in the camera, so you have to actually manage that using the switch, the manual switch, basically on the lens itself. So if we go and zoom in, we can see that the situation is a bit better compared to the previous picture. There is no black things here anymore in the corners of the left lens. The lens on the right, it's a bit more clearer, but in terms of light, it captures more light, in my opinion. But I'll tell you that the lens on the left appears to be a bit more vibrant, in the sense that it's a bit more sharp, and you can see these, especially in the trees here. You can see that basically on the left they are way more clear. If we go on in the corners, you can see again here this is not straight. Unfortunately, I did not manage to get the building. But it's you can see also here on the walls there is a bit of a distortion, and if you compare the two lenses, there is a bit more chromatic aberration on the right lens. So let's go to the next couple of pictures. Okay, so now we are at approximately 70 millimeters of focal length, and I got to say that the pictures almost look the same. I think that the Sony SEL18135 did a better job as for what concerns the sharpness and especially the chromatic aberration. You can see if I zoom here, there is some chromatic aberration on the lens on the right, and even though it appears to be a bit more sharpened on the 18-105. As for what concerns the corners, I think that 1 point goes to the lens on the left, because obviously the branches are very defined. You can actually see them all, For example, here you can see on the right that there are some, I don't know, everything is a bit messed up. You can actually cannot actually tell how this individual branch is actually on the tree. So even if we zoom in and look at these, you can see the differences, and obviously, in my opinion, this is better on the lens on the left. Let's go to 105. Okay, so now we have the final set of images, if my program doesn't crash. Okay, so this is bought at approximately 105. I got to say that the more you go up with the focal length, the more the 18105 performs better. You can see how more sharp is the license plate here on the 18105, but you get some chromatic aberration issues on the lens itself. Again, probably when you look at the center of the image, the 18105, it's a bit more sharp, but once you go zoom in the corners, I think that the situation changes a bit, even though the lens on the left is it's more dark. You can see that there are quite some differences here in the sense that it's more sharp here. Even though maybe the depth of the quality of the image captured is it's a bit better on the right. But again, if we look and zoom a lot, then you can see that there are some minor differences, but to be honest, it's not that much. I just wanted to show you the last image, which is the 135 millimeters. If my program assists me and doesn't take that much to load the image, but it's just to show you a difference between 105 and 135, which is the maximum focal length of both lenses. While it loads, maybe we can jump to some conclusions, and in my opinion, there are not so many differences. If you shoot a lot in the lower focal length, then maybe the 135, it's a better lens, but it does cost 150 euros more. If you need the extra focal length, and if you need to go to 135 millimeters, then it's up to you. You have to understand if you want to spend 150 euro more. Again, if you look at the license plates here, you can see that, again, even though the zoom level of digital zoom is the same, and the focal length on the actual zoom on the lens on the right is a bit less, then the license plate is still sharper, even though we are using a longer focal length. Again, if we go and zoom into the branches, then obviously it's going to be, you know what, it actually looks maybe better on the 105 millimeters on the right. Yeah, it does. So, to be honest, I have mixed feelings for the new lens. It's way more compact, as you have maybe seen from my unboxing. It costs a bit more. It weighs 100 and something, 20 grams less than the 18105, yet it costs a bit more. So it mostly depends on what are your needs. Both are good lenses, not as good as prime lenses, obviously. So you will have to understand what you want to do and what kind of shooter you are. Obviously, both lenses are an upgrade from the standard ones that come off the standard zoom lens, but I would say that probably if you need to upgrade, maybe I will just tell you to wait until this lens, which gives you more flexibility, drops the price a bit, so that you can actually compare both lenses. I'm very sorry, I'm not a tech guy for when it comes to cameras, but I hope I actually gave you some insight on how this lens shoot. Just take these examples as with a pinch of salt, because Obviously, I just tested it in one environment, and you should test a lens in every environment in order to actually gather conclusions. So I hope I actually helped you, and in the description you will find samples uploaded on my Google Drive, so you can download and see by yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe or at least put a like on the button below. Thanks, bye.